Okay, so almost perfect day. Pretty much 5 out of 6 of these 4-hour candles had really great entries and exits to their counterparts, which would be previous same time 4-hour candles. Market opens up, we gap up, and our immediate target is this untapped 6 p.m. candle. We have this 6 p.m. candle, that's the opening candle, and we get a nice, if you took this long, I did not myself, but long, and here would be an initial target. We also have this as an untapped level, and we get that at the very high of this 6 p.m. candle. Okay, so if I was marking that out, that was this is a 6 p.m. candle as well, and so you can see that we hit 2 targets. Okay, um, this candle is unwilling to push for the previous day high. We get a nice rejection, and then our 10 p.m. candle opens up, and we have a 10 a.m. low over here, and we have our previous 10 a.m. high. And so we get a rejection at the 10 a.m. low in this 10 p.m. candle, and it seeks to reprice the new day opening gap, and it targets the 10 a.m. high. Okay, and I'll just show that over here. So here's that 10 a.m. low. This is our opening candle right here for 10 p.m. Rebalances entries AUP down to the 10 a.m. high exit. Around this time is we're getting close to the 2 p.m. candle, 2 a.m. candle opening. Okay, we'll just get back over here. So we have this untapped level from a 2 p.m. candle. 2 a.m. opens, we manipulate down into this area. Again, repricing new day opening gap. Our first target would be the 2 p.m. high, okay, which is the previous day high, so a great target. And we'll color that green. And then we have these untapped 2 p.m. levels, okay? We get one right here, and it looks like we might barely miss this one, or it just taps it, but finishes off right there, okay? And we'll go back to that. I was at work, and so I was busy and then doing um, just running calls and stuff. So I didn't get the entry I wanted. I was hoping to get somewhere down here at this 2 p.m. untapped, and you can see that here's our 2 a.m. and this is just an OTE entry short back into this order block, if you will. Notice how price holds the 2 p.m. untapped level, and then we get up to these previous day high and this 2 p.m. untapped, and then finally another 2 p.m. untapped here. But got in a little late, but was able to get in AUP as price was moving quickly, and then get out for this 2 a.m. candle move. Okay. Then we have the 6 a.m. candle. We have an untapped 6 a.m. level. So this 6 a.m. candle has not been tapped by another 6 o'clock candle. Did I see Addy's in here? So this was one of Addy's discoveries. Big credit to him for paying attention to this and finding this out. If you're new to this strategy, we're looking for same candles, 6 a.m., 6 a.m., and we're looking for these opens or closes that haven't been hit by another 6 o'clock candle. So yes, it's been hit by the 10 a.m. and the 2 p.m., but there hasn't been another 6 o'clock candle that's pushed into this area. Okay, so we're looking at this area as an area of sensitivity. All right, so we get the rejection from the 6 a.m. tapped. Really beautiful. We run a previous 4 o'clock high or 4-hour high. And what do we get? the push all the way back down into the 6 p.m. untapped level. Okay, so we can see how the 6 a.m. moved from previous 6 o'clock candles. And so if we run this all the way over here and we look at price action around it and run this over here, we can see the rejection, big push down, this low resistance or this high resistance area, looking for low resistance to move through here and a rebalancing of this range. Again, entries, AUP, exit down at this 6 p.m. untapped. Then just another really great 4-hour candle that follows this right up. Here we have the 10 p.m. level. And so now this new 10 p.m. candle that got printed, these levels have not been tapped. And so we get the 10 o'clock candle that opens up. And here is that candle right here. After this trade, I was done for the day. I was watching this on my way home from work. And then I had stuff to do. But very nice move. Here's that level. This would be 10 p.m. untapped level, which is I believe it was the opening closing price of it. Yeah. Here's the open. Here's the close. You can see candle bodies are holding this level nicely and then a nice push back up. This would probably be a 50% retracement if we were to look at this. Or you could, if you're getting into it later, doesn't even meet 50%. So price was in a hurry. But very nice holding of this level, 10 p.m. untapped. And then where does it go to? We have another 10 a.m. that's untapped. And boom, we get the untapped to untapped, very nice large 4-hour range with very good entry points and exit points. Then we get our next 2 p.m. candle. This one was not as clean, okay? But it comes right up to almost running this high and running this level again as well. Doesn't quite get there. Where's 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock's right here. But we do get this high resistance move up where we're not pushing higher. And then again, right into this order block area where we've had previous price rejection or showing sensitivity to. And so we do get a push down. And really, there's no destination down here that was as easy as these really obvious targets. So that's why I said that this was an almost perfect day because each one of these previous candles had very obvious entries and exits. And then we're just coloring in this new week opening gap that we had. So just looking back on this and then looking back on the 5-minute chart, using these 4-hour levels at their very specific time and using very specific targets during this time window. Really great moves for 5 out of the 6 candles where you can capture the full candle basically and have very obvious targets, and it went to those targets. So today was a really amazing day. The price action was clean. Just looking back at these levels, you have this gap up, a little tap into the new day opening gap, and then you had those levels that could have been targeted. Here's those initial ones, and look at how price reacts around that. So it hits that untapped level and it just starts stalling for the push down, and then you get the next candle, so on and so forth. And we can see these on the smaller time frame really showing obvious price action around each of these levels, which was really nice. And then giving really nice structure along with it. And then some good pushes. So probably some of the cleanest price action I've seen in a while for multiple 4-hour candles on the smaller time frame. This is a 5-minute chart. Um, really happy with today's price action. So it just offered some really great trades up and down for each of those 4-hour candles. Yes, I will. I recorded it. I'll upload it and I will post it in my channel. Anyone have any questions on this? Pretty pretty self-explanatory. It's pinned to my channel, Silk, and it's just the custom 4-hour candle colors. And these are the colors that I don't know if it comes set up because it's been a while since I've seen it just out of the gates. I think I use these colors. I picked them, but you can put whatever colors you want in here. So it's pinned to my channel. Let's see. So you wait for price to hit a potential reversal based on the 4-hour candle, then look at 5-minute price action to determine if the price reversal is valid at that point. Uh, yes. So when these levels are hit and looking at price action around it, there's the potential for aggressive entries and there's the potential for less aggressive entries. And so when we get this, like if we start off with this 10 p.m. candle, the aggressive entry is um, nailing all your orders every time price hits this 10 a.m. low. As you can see, every candle body that hits it, we get a follow-up of down close candles and it starts trailing downward. Okay, your stops would end up being up here or whatever your risk tolerance is. Um, after I saw this was a little more of a confirmation that price was rejecting this 10 a.m. low. We also had the confirmation of we haven't had any repricing of this new day opening gap down here. And so then I had this fair value gap marked out right here. Whoa, oh, it's going on the price. There we go. I had this marked out right here and I was taking entries in here as it was showing sensitivity to 50% of the fair value gap. It wasn't breaking through. And then I'm just targeting the next target. And so this was another area I had mapped out. And so if I take this low to this high, what we notice about this range is price never repriced into discount of this range. Okay, so this range is unbalanced. Came down here, but it never hit 50% minimum. So when I draw that out over time, and we have this 10 a.m. high right here, where does price reprice to? Well, it reprices down to 50% of this range that never got repriced to that area. Okay, and so ranges are very important. And when you have a narrative behind should price come down here, you can get some really great entries because of them, the algorithm leaving ranges unpriced, and it needs to be repriced into at least a discount of a range. And then, yeah, we see price again reprice that range, make a heavy move up. We got OTE, so you can again aggressively enter at this 2 p.m. untapped, okay, which is this close, 2 p.m. close. You can aggressively enter and your stops would come down here. Again, I was busy, I missed that. So as soon as I saw that this had come down here and then really pushed away from this area, and this was OTE, okay, nice little OTE. It was get in AUP, and then I got out just above previous day high. When I'm at work, I typically don't like to leave runners really because I don't want to have to manage it in case I get a call. Same thing with this area. See how price reacts around this 6 a.m. untapped? We drive up and look at this. Look at the down close candle compared to the up close candle that was hitting this. First, we wick away from it. Then we have a larger down close candle than the candle that went up through this level. And then every time it comes up here, look at the down close candle is larger. So it's showing that anytime price is repriced into the 6 a.m. level during the 6 a.m. candle, it is using this to build shorts. And then we finally get a massive push down after one last move up into here. And then I was just targeting the 6 p.m. close. So, and again, this is a less aggressive entry. New York open 9:30. Okay, we want to make sure that there's no funny business and this doesn't run all the way back up here again, or maybe it's not targeting this. Maybe price is in a hurry to continue higher, and we're looking at, running up here. Okay, so I want to see some sort of confirmation, especially when we have New York open because of the volatility, which gives me, and I start small because we're going to have bigger candle movement, and my stops will be placed at the highs. Or if this starts filling in this fair value gap, I can exit out of there and just wait and be patient. Yeah, I trade on my phone. Or if I have downtime, sometimes I use my laptop. But that's how you would view entries. And again, the reason I'm sharing today is because the price action setup was very clean. There's a lot of like respecting the fair value gaps, no funny business, OTE entries, you know, range stuff that was involved, and price showing sensitivity to it. So there's a lot of just really good price action around these levels that made it so I could take safer entries and there was still clean price action after that, which it seems like the price action hasn't been, in my opinion, it hasn't been super clean like how this has been for multiple candles. Usually one candle will be pretty clean, and then other ones there's kind of, you get a lot of, NQ does what it does. Uh, I've looked at this on multiple assets. It works on ES, it works on YM, it works on Bitcoin. So it works on stocks, Nvidia, Tesla. So if you're trading options, like day trading options, I've used these levels on those to trade options on stocks and target levels. It works on the Qs. Um, I've seen it work on gold as well. So to me, this is part of the mapping of the algorithm. And sometimes it's super clean, like this group of price action here, and sometimes it's not as clean. So the days it's clean, I try to take advantage. And when it's not clean, sometimes you just got to sit on the sidelines. It's just the nature of the market. Yeah, swag. So I'm looking at price action. And when we've seen, like, here's previous day high, and we see this candle like this is 4 hours, and this thing hasn't ran this high. And so the nature of price action in this area is that right now it's not willing to push high, because when we've seen like Asia sessions run, let's see if we have any. Okay, nothing like nearby. But when we've seen the Asia sessions and Globex run, really you don't get these big retracements back. It's like it creates a high, 50% higher high, little retracement high, and then like keeps pushing. So for this in relation to, here's that 6 p.m. close. Okay, so this is the opening of the 10 p.m. candle, and here's the close. The way price reacts around here and this big candle down is why I wanted to get into shorts, and the rebalancing of this leg of price action. So 6 a.m., I'm looking for it to retrace back down, and I'm looking for it to target the 6 p.m. levels. And what do we have here? If we look at the context of price action in this area, we have a new week opening gap. It's pretty much a giant void. So we need to see price action paint candles up and down through this area. And so these candles are just ping-ponging between levels of previous same candles to fill in this void. So as the 2 a.m. gives us an up close candle through this void, then the 6 a.m. gives us the down close candle through this void. So odds are any movement up here is just a manipulation to reprice lower. And I'm just taking this as my first target, because that's a pretty decent amount of points in one 4-hour candle. Yeah, this is an indicator. It's pinned to my channel. It's the custom 4-hour candle colors. So if we look at the 6 p.m. candle that's going to open, where's it going to open? It's going to open right in the middle of this 6 a.m. candle. So there's untapped levels on both sides. So really, when it opens, there's nothing for me to do. I might not even like look to trade the 6 p.m. candle, because where could it go? It could go either direction. So until it shows me a direction, and the direction might be a continuation just down. So it might hit this level, and I might not be looking for a reversal at this level, because we do have levels down here that haven't been tapped. What if this is a move back down to this level before the next move back up? Yeah. So again, this was just an example of very clean price action where price is running up and we're looking to fill this void. And so we're getting the up and down movement, and we can use these levels to catch moves up and down as it ping pongs between these levels. This next candle is we need some sort of confirmation as to which direction it's going to go, because we can still retrace or we could push higher. We've seen 4-hour price action that's pretty silly. I mean, there's a lot of overlap, like this whole area right here. It just consolidated. We don't know if there's going to be more consolidation, or if now this was a manipulation. Now it's just going to run and we're going to this is like a reaccumulation area just to fill in this void and then push higher. So that's where this isn't just a blind black and white, oh, it hits this level, I'm just going to take a long or a short off of it. There needs to be context behind it. And there needs to be a knowledge of which direction is price heading right now. Because you could get caught on the opposite side of it and then price runs 100 points the other direction and you're continually trying to take shorts when price is going to, who knows, maybe it runs for this level up here. I mean, look at the levels we have. These are the closest levels. The 6 a.m. open and close. And then our outliers would be this level, and then up here we have these levels. So, and it's a 6 p.m. candle, so it might be large, it might push like this, or it might stay compact like this. Yeah. So what Addy found was that price will revisit an area if, and here's an example of it right here. So this 6 a.m. candle, this 6 p.m. candle never hit this close. And all the way back, price comes here, and then this 6 a.m. candle, what does it do? It reaches up and it taps this 6 a.m. close and rejects. Okay, so these levels are what's said to be untapped because this 6 p.m. candle did not come up and hit this. Yes, because they're pairs. It's 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Those candles reference each other. And if you put this indicator on and you back test it, okay, like this 2 p.m. candle right here, it runs this 2 a.m. high. If I marked out this high, and then where's the target? This untapped level from this 2 a.m. candle. And this would have been an untapped level at the start of here. So you have targets 1, 2, low is 3. Okay, or you can go midpoint because this is a fair value gap. So you don't know if it's going to hit here and reject. But there needs to be context behind why you're taking it. This just had a lot of context behind it. That's why it was a very good day to trade these candles up and down. All right, I gotta go. My daughter has a soccer game. So hopefully you guys found this fascinating and it was helpful. It's recorded. I will upload it and repost it in my channel along with some charts. So feel free to back test it, look at it, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day. All right, talk to you guys later.